Hi, thanks for joining. I'm your host, Chris Gennaro. My co-host is Rizk, and today we have Mutilatred. How you doing, guys?
Good. How about you?
Cool. Yeah, no, everything's good. So I guess let's just start out by saying your names. I see a couple people are cut off a little bit, but just say your names and what you do.
I'm Clay. I play drums.
I'm Drew. I play guitar.
I'm Pat. I do vocals and guitar.
I'm Eli. I play bass.
Okay, cool. Something we talked about a little bit before we started recording was there is sort of another Patrick that was in the band but now doesn't really play with you guys anymore.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so so I get, because the photo that you have on, I think, on Metal Archives is as a 5-piece. So I guess just talk about like what the other Patrick did and what the deal there is.
So I'm trying to think what we talked about this a second ago. So we started off the band with me and Clay here. We had the idea to start a band. We were going to keep it a 2-piece at first to make it easy. Just to make it easy. That's the only reason. And eventually we met up with Pat Myers, which was one of my favorite guitar players ever. And he's in a band that's really influential to us called Premonitions of War. Grew up watching them for a long time. So anyway, long story short, he joined our band and it was great. We played for a long time with him, or a couple of years with him. And that was in the beginning. And just lately, he's been so busy with life, raising a family. He has multiple kids. He has a serious job. So I feel like I said this much better the first time. So right now, it's never like he quit the band or we kicked him out or anything like that. It's just that he's busy being an adult and having a serious life for now. And that's totally cool. So for now, we are still a 4-piece. We've really always been a 4-piece. And what we were talking about a little bit ago is one time we played as a 5-piece, just once, where he played guitar as well, and Drew played guitar, and I did vocals. It was really fun. But that was a one-time thing. We'll only ever do that if Pat can play. We're not looking for another guitar player at all. It's just if Pat can make it in the future, whenever that is, it'll be great. I love playing with the guy. He's a great guy and a great guitar player, and that's about it. I can't say.
And you said he's a little bit older than you guys, I guess, because he's
Yeah.
been around and playing in the other bands.
Yep. He's about 10 years older than us.
Yeah, I feel like it's a thing, like, whenever he's around and able to, like, he's always welcome to, like, come and jam and, like, play a show or do whatever,
He comes around sporadically, like he's.
which is fun
Yeah.
as hell.
Yeah, it's like Christmas.
Yeah, it's like a little present here and there.
Yeah.
Why not have someone to jam with? Like,
I mean, but it wasn't like that in the beginning. He was over all the time. So, maybe one day it'll be like that and it'll be great. But for now, we are, this is the band. We're the 4-piece right here. That's usually what you'll be seeing us play as, just us 4.
Okay, and then I was listening to another interview with you guys. I'll post the link in the description and stuff. But you were talking. This was an interview from about a year ago where you said you were recording a new album. It sounds like you're putting the finishing touches on it. You want to talk about that a little bit?
yeah, we started recording that, I want to say, like,
last summer.
like August of last year, and we were steadily working on it slowly, like, due to COVID. Felt like there was no reason to, like, rush to put it out. We were recording it ourselves in the basement of where we jam, which is at Pat's house. So we just, like, we're doing our thing and recording it, and right now it's in, like, we're getting mixes back. We got our, like, what was it, 3rd round of mixes back today. Just sweet. They're sounding sick.
Ingested Filth was on Redefining Records. Are you still with those guys?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I assume that's the plan then, is to put out the new record on with those guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how many tracks? And I don't. Do you have anything like? I know you said you were going to do a cover on the record. I'm assuming that's still under wraps.
Yeah.
There's
it's happening.
yeah, it is. Yeah, there's 12 songs, and then from the 12th song, there's just like whatever, and then there's a cover on there
Okay.
in the way end.
Hidden tracks.
So you got to listen for an annoying amount
hidden
of time
track.
to,
We love hidden
to get
tracks
to it.
on this show. There's a whole thing about hidden tracks in one of the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
I
That
love
was-
how
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
my thing. I love it because Ed Gein did a couple Nirvana covers, and on Judas Ghost and Diesel Eaters, there's like 10 minutes of open space, and there's a Nirvana cover at the end, and it just sounds so sweet and so raw and gross. Yeah, so
Cool.
sick.
You could do that shit on CD and it sort of worked, but now on like tape that doesn't work and certainly doesn't work
Yeah.
on vinyl.
You gotta get a separate tape.
It'll work as long as your album is short enough, and we have short songs,
Yes.
so there's no
Right.
problem. Our album's gonna be so short. I mean, not so short, but it's not a long album.
I love having short songs.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
me
a
too,
good.
big fan.
It's fun.
We have ADD, so we don't like getting wrapped up too much and stuff. I mean, it's the reality.
Yeah, everything you guys do is sort of like under 3 minutes. I want to say like 2
Oh
minutes,
yeah,
like
for sure.
2.5 minutes would like be a long song for you guys.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. We do have some songs, a couple that are pretty long. Some that we don't play anymore.
We don't have any more slow dance songs.
But we were in a grind band before, and we really like grind, so that we just have a background in short songs, and I like it that way.
keep it quick and simple. Kinda.
Cool. You guys did a couple splits recently. All right, one was with From the Hellmouth, who I hadn't heard before, but are really fucking good. I was just listening to them. Like after we booked this interview, I was like, oh, I need to check this shit out, and that was really awesome. And then Livid, also, who seemed to be like very much in line with you, but maybe a little bit more punkish in the vocals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
A little more power violency.
definitely
Fast
power
hardcore,
violence.
power violence.
So how did those splits come about?
Really just playing shows with the guys. So From the Hellmouth, those guys are from Cleveland, and we play in Cleveland a good amount because we are
Noah.
2 hours away from Cleveland. Noah's a great dude and a great what do you call it? Producer of
Oh, yeah,
of
definitely.
recording and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And he's a great musician. And so anyway, playing shows with them, met them, hit it off. Now Livid, we met them. Did we play one show with them prior to the
Yeah,
tour?
we played with them in Indiana, right?
Okay, we played one show with them, and then we did a tour with them, and we really
It
hit
was
it
our
off with those guys
first
too.
tour, actually. Our first tour was with Livid.
Was
Yeah.
it with
First full tour,
Yeah, like first, like
Yeah.
actual, like over, like
Well,
longer than a weekend
not even
tour.
full tour.
Yeah, yeah, you know what it's.
Yeah,
Jump
so
tours.
we met them all from shows, and they're just great dudes, and it was great to put some music together with those guys. We have a few more splits coming up too, or at least one that we know of with more great friends. So,
can you talk about those or no?
can we?
yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I'm sure if you want to.
We're not on Warner Brothers. So the next one is with our Inhumane Suffering. It's our
Yeah.
buddy Maxwell's band, and they are unbelievably heavy.
So sweet.
Another
Very
split
brutal.
metal. And about recording, we have no problem of writing quite often and writing I don't know, a good amount of songs. But when it comes to recording, we're kind of slow at that. I don't know what it is about that, but different schedules. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we're
It
so
takes-
new to it too.
It takes us a while to record. We've been recording ourselves for a good amount of our albums.
Mhm.
And we did it for this one that's about to come out. So we need to, well, we're still waiting for this one to get done. We're about to start a split recording like right now before the other one's even done. So nonstop stuff, writing, recording, just repeat, which I love.
The good thing about recording ourselves is that this, like the mixes we're getting from the South here, are like the best sounding stuff we've had before. Like had entirely. Like it blows everything we've had out the water, and it sounds sweet.
Oh wow. Okay, because I like the way the full length dissecting your future. I thought that sounded really sick. I mean, all the recordings sound really sick.
This next one is recorded in the same spot that we recorded Dissecting Your Future.
Okay.
It's our practice spot.
Okay.
Everything else has been recorded differently.
Okay.
At a different spot.
Okay. Cool. What now that stuff's opening up, do you guys have any like shows or anything lined up on the horizon, or what do you guys have planned?
Yeah, we actually have a show. What is it? Next?
The 5th.
Yeah, the 5th, June 5th.
Oh wow, coming up.
June
Yep.
5th.
In Columbus.
With a bunch of friends bands. Very excited.
Inoculation.
Limb Splitter.
200 stab wounds.
Stab wounds.
Balmer?
No, Balmer's not playing.
Oh, no.
They were.
They were.
There was actually a completely different lineup for the show, and then 1 week later it was completely different,
Okay.
which is cool.
Okay.
Excited for it. A little nervous, but
It's going to be a low-key show. It's at our friend's spot. It's at a old fire station,
Oh
and
shit.
it's going to be in the basement, but hopefully it'll be in the garage. We don't know. But yeah, it's pretty low-key and a great show back.
Cool.
Yeah, those are some of the best shows, like just set up by anybody. I always remember setting up shows when I was young, and then like somebody would find out I would be 16, and they'd be like, "What the fuck you doing? We can't." And being at shows that were like broken up because they didn't realize they were booking a hardcore show or a death metal show, and until the neighbors started complaining. But it sounds like the Firehouse sounds like a real cool place to have a show.
yeah, it sounds sweet.
I feel like lately Ohio has become sort of a metal hotbed, along with like Colorado and a couple other places I never used to think of as like metal centers. But like I feel like there's a ton of bands coming out of Ohio now. What's your take on that?
No.
No?
No,
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right
because there's
music.
nothing else to do. I thought you were saying that there's no other band. I was like,
I think so. I've been playing shows for a very long time, and there's always been a good amount of metal bands in Ohio, and a great metal bands in Ohio. And I think a long time ago, let's say almost 20 years ago, there was much more bands.
Mm.
And I don't know if I would say more quality bands. In a way, yes. Sometimes no. But anyway, there's just more bands. Now, there's less bands, but the promotion is so much different. I mean, I just remember just only having flyers to put out at places and trying to put up flyers all over the place, and not even having MySpace yet, which is nuts. And now it's just so different. You have so much different outlets to get music out. So I think there used to be more bands. Now that maybe there's less bands, but it's easier to broadcast that stuff to the world, which is really cool. And also, I think now maybe, even though there's fewer bands, they're better quality bands, so then they get more attention.
What are some of your guys' favorite bands from Ohio area right now? Like current ones, let's say.
Currently,
And maybe some all time. Why not? Because actually isn't isn't Hemdale from Ohio, right?
yeah, Hemdale's from
We
Ohio.
played with them. Yeah, we played with them.
We can. All right. So Inoculation.
That's current.
Yeah, current.
Currently.
All time. Premonitions of War
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah,
Sanguisugabog, obviously.
that's current.
The homies.
I'm trying to think of some old ones. Like, so old ones that I haven't seen in a
Old
while.
React from Toledo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's from Indiana.
Pizza Hi-Fi.
Pizza
Dude,
Hi-Fi.
Pizza
Pizza
Hi-Fi.
Hi-Fi. There's so many bands that I'm trying to think of some more old ones that are not around anymore. But anyway, current ones.
Gutted is an old. Yeah. James, you owe me some coke? Just kidding.
Jesus.
Dude, it's an office joke. Chill. Gutted from Toledo is an old ass death metal band. Serpent Speech, which they were both in, which a little bit of self promotion.
When you say sang too, so those dudes, Cody mainly he has so many bands, and so does Devin, and all of their bands are fire. They have the new band, was it Dykinesia? Is that how you say it?
Dyskinesia.
Okay, I don't know. I never know how to say it, but I just know that the bands are amazing. So
New Standard Elite shit. So fun.
yeah, anything those guys are doing is amazing.
Midnight.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Dude, Midnight's so fucking sweet.
We got to do a short tour
Talking
with
about
Midnight.
them recently.
What's that?
Midnight.
Great band.
I know Midnight. Yeah, they're the big band. Oh, you did a tour with Midnight?
Yeah, we did.
How did that go? That's crazy.
It
'cause
was so sweet. We did 4 dates with them.
Temple of Void.
Temple of Void and Black Dahlia Murder.
okay, cool.
And we opened the show.
Actually, that's a very diverse show. That's like,
Oh, yeah, I know. It was like, bam, bam, bam,
The first-
bam,
yeah,
bam.
just weird wave of bands.
The first night we played the tour is one of the most crazy shows ever. And after the show, that's a big story. But anyway, after the
no,
show,
tell it. Yeah, if you want.
tell us.
Okay. But then after the show, the Midnight guy came up and he went, "Your band sounded like a thunderstorm." And I was like,
I'll take it.
sick. He's like, yeah. He's like, that's fucking sick. And I was like, okay, good. I was thinking it's sick. And he's like, yeah, I was in the back room and I heard it. And I was like, sounds like a thunderstorm. And I ran out and saw it. And I was like,
Oh, was it?
that was our first conversation. with those guys.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, what's the funny? Is that the funny story, or is there another funny story?
Oh, geez, there's a lot of funny stories with that. So, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. It's a long story, but I'll try to sum it up real quick.
Okay.
So, long story short, we
Sum it up in your brain real quick.
I'll sum it up. So we find out Cannibal Corpse is coming to Toledo, and they haven't played in Toledo in like 20 years. So we're like, holy shit, we should play this. So we try to get on the show. Doesn't work. And we're like, all right, fine. It's fine. We're not going to play it. We'll go to the show. I mean, I'm still pumped they're going to play. And then in the meantime, Black Dahlia says, hey, you guys want to do a short tour with us in Canada and the Midwest? And we're like, oh my God, yes. Fuck, yes. Like, so we do that, or we say yes. Then Cannibal Corpse is like, hey, actually, we do want an opener. Can you guys play? We're like,
Oh, yeah, it sucks.
oh my God.
Worst shit ever.
Yeah.
This sucks real
Like
bad.
you got to such a predicament, you know?
Yeah.
And we're like, you know, fuck. We're like, we can't because we said we're going to go on this tour. We're going to do this tour. We're professionals. So anyway, we agree to do the tour. The first shows are in Canada, and we haven't been there yet. These guys, I mean, maybe can't go, but looking back on it, they should have just fucking went. We should have just been kind of sneaky about it. Anyway, they couldn't make it. We go to the show, me and him. We're gonna play as a 2-piece at a fucking, big time show. We're kind of nervous. We roll up to the show. Bob Marley's band is playing downstairs, the Wailers, with his nephew doing vocals. Yeah. So we're like, what the fuck? There's people all over the place. And we're like, we're a fucking metal band. We like playing house shows. We get to this big ass show. We're like, what the hell do we do? They're like, hey, there's a management, or these management people are going to help you get your gear up. And we're like, what the fuck? Okay.
Going up an elevator.
Yeah, we're taking elevators. We're going down hallways. We're going all the way. We never play anything like this. So we get to where we're playing. And they're like, okay, you guys got a half an hour. I'm like, great. Start changing my strings. 5 minutes later, he's like, you got to go on stage and sound check. And I'm like, what the fuck? I got 2 strings on my goddamn guitar. So I go on stage.
We were sound checking.
Yeah, I feel like such an idiot. I got 2 strings. We're sound checking for the whole show. All the guys in the whole touring bands are watching us. They're like, you guys play with 2 strings? And I'm like, no. No, dude, no. I was like, we got fucking caught off guard. I was supposed to have 30 minutes. They gave me 5 minutes. Now I have to sound check. And it was just a nightmare, I wasn't, at this time, I didn't have 2 guitars with me somehow, or maybe the other one. I don't know what happened. Anyway, we get off stage. I go change the rest of my strings really fucking fast. We go downstairs. There's no one in the place. We come back upstairs, and the place is full. And within 10 minutes, it's full of like probably almost 500 people. We've never even seen shit like that. So we're like, it's not going to be that bad. We walk in the door. We're like, oh my God, this is nuts. And then we had to play the show.
I was nervous as fuck.
Yeah, it's one of our craziest shows. And then after that, the tour went great. We went up, met up with these guys, had an amazing tour. And,
awesome.
Drew and I went and
How
saw
did the
Cannibal
crowd
Corpse.
respond?
Yeah, they got to
Yeah.
see that fucking.
I was at Cannibal Corpse in
Yeah,
Normandy.
Corpse.
Or not, Hate Eternal, Jesus Christ.
They got to see
Okay.
John Longstrength play with fucking.
Oh yeah, John Longstrength was
Hate
playing
Eternal.
with Hate Eternal. That shit was nuts.
Yeah.
Dude,
Missed it.
So you did not get to play the Cannibal Corpse show.
No.
No.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's okay. It was so long ago
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool though. It's cool.
it's true.
It's true.
Um,
I was kidding about that, by the way.
Okay, just random shit that I caught from you guys. One of your covers, Patrick did, yes? Album covers.
Oh, Vans covers. I was thinking covers in the band. We all
No.
yes, yeah, I did. I think, if I think really hard here, almost all of them besides the first one. Or
And
You didn't do dissect
split
it.
with Living too.
those Split with Living I did do.
Well, you did do half of it.
It was a collab with me and Jake for that split.
Wait, which one? Did
All the
you
other
do?
ones I did do besides the first one, Dissecting Your Future, was Pierre or something like that from
Oh
Paris.
yeah.
I saw a credit for a Remy on
That's it. Yeah,
Dissecting.
yeah.
So did you go, because like it sort of looks like an old school like Gustav Doré type of thing. Is that what you were going for, I assume?
Yeah, well, I really like classical art, like Renaissance and Baroque stuff. I really like that stuff, and that's what we were going for with that. And we saw his artwork, and we really liked his artwork. He did some stuff for a lot of bands. The only one that's coming to mind right now is Origin. He did some stuff for them.
Okay.
And yeah, we ended up using it. But other than that, I'm an artist myself, and I like making the covers. I don't know. Back then, that one I just didn't have time. I just didn't do it. I don't know why. Lately, I've been painting them all, and or drawing them all.
You know, the cover for Dissecting is really cool. The one that you didn't do.
Yeah.
I like your stuff too. So did you go to art school or just do it in your spare time?
I did. I went to art school for drawing here in Toledo, and I do tattooing for a living. So does Eli here. We both are tattoo artists for
Okay.
our occupation. And yeah, I do that all day, and I draw after work. I mean, on whatever, or paint, whatever I'm working on.
Actually, Chris went to art school.
Oh.
Too.
Yeah,
What's your favorite medium?
oil. I was oil painter.
Gee.
Oh, shit.
That's the good stuff. That's what
Awesome.
I dabble in that a little bit, but mostly my background is drawing.
Yeah, but we probably like have the same influences, like a lot of graphic graphic novel guys.
Oh, yeah.
All those guys who ended up, most of them doing death metal covers too. Like just so many of those comic guys that just ended up doing death metal covers. Just Cannibal Corpse was Vince Locke, and Dave McKeon has done a ton of them. Just because I think there's such a cross section of fandom between comic books and metal for some reason. Makes sense to me. Other people might find that weird, but whatever.
Do you know offhand the name of the artist that does Hate Eternal's work?
Who?
Hate Eternal's artwork. I don't
Oh,
know.
I don't know. Not off the
I
top. of my
can't
head.
think of the guy's name right now, and I really wish I could because I have it on my phone or I follow him or whatever. But that is some of my favorite lately. That guy's a great artist, and he's been doing the past good amount of their albums.
Do you have a specialty with doing your tattoo work? Like stuff that you like to do?
I do, yeah, sure. I like doing realism in black and gray. That's my main thing. Eli?
I like doing like traditional style shit. Just weird fucking trippy looking traditional style
Traditional.
shit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Actually, I want to ask this little side note. Did you guys ever see that Ink Masters show?
It's
Oh, yeah.
terrible.
It's terrible. Exactly. It's terrible. But like,
You gotta paint a car to be able to tattoo.
what?
You gotta paint a car to be able to tattoo.
Yeah, it's bad. But then all the people that they find that just are like, just give me a whole sleeve, but they don't even like know what they're like getting or the quality of the person and stuff. Yeah,
I've only caught a couple episodes of
it's
that.
kind of funny though. It is trashy, but it's funny.
It's trashy, but there's nothing more awkward than having a guy who has a permanent piece of artwork on his body now, and judges telling him that it's shitty looking, and he's just standing there like, I've got this thing on my arm that everybody seems to hate, and the guy's getting thrown off the show because of it, but I'm gonna now live with it for.
I never thought of it that way directly. I mean, it's there right in front of your face, but that's a good way of looking at it.
My favorite is like with I think the pinups and like the judge's commentary about like how scary the faces of the girls the people did.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, just wanted to. I was just wondering what your opinion of that show is, just because I've only watched it like recently on like one of the streaming things, and it's trashy, but I kind of got into it. It's like a trashy.
Yeah. Well, I got a funny story for that too, if you want to hear more.
Okay, sure.
Johnny.
Oh, dude, it's so fucking good.
It is. So that show is just for entertainment. It's not at all to see who the best is. It's they want to get people that are gonna fight, and they want to put them together and then record it. It's genius. I mean, that's how they're making all their money.
Sure.
So it's not really any testament of anything good. So anyway, one of our buddies, Johnny, he's a great artist, and I work with him. He's a really funny dude and loves to pull pranks. He was at a convention in Philly, a big, huge convention, like a really popular one, and he somehow just talked to someone from Ink Masters, and they were like, you know what, this guy would be great, because Johnny's like, he's a great dude. He's very, very, very nice, but he's a big guy, and if you ever piss him off or fuck with him, he'll fuck you up. So anyway, they were like, this is perfect. This is perfect. So they really pursued him for just a little bit, and he trolled them really hard, and they messaged him, and they said, hey, the big long thing, we really are into you. We want to give you a shot at the show. And he said back, hey, just a minute. I just dropped my vape in my
fish tank.
My roommate's fish tank. I just fried all of his fish. They're dead. What should I do? Should I go get new ones? And then they say back, they're like, man, I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds like a crazy situation you have. And he's like, yeah, what do I do? Go get new ones? And they're like, I don't know. I mean, if there's a fish store, get new ones. And he's like, all right, well, I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to go get the fish. I can't have him find out. And they're kind of going along with it a little bit. And he shows us all of it at the shop, and we're just dying. And it's just nuts because it's, from Ink Masters. So.
That's hilarious.
He didn't get on it.
Yeah. That would have made for some good television if he was on that. That would have
been for sure.
He could, for sure. He would do great on it. But it's not, no one wants to do that shit. I mean, who wants to be known for that guy,
You mentioned Serpent Speech before. Just switching topics.
Yeah.
Are you guys still doing that? It sounds like, sometimes people do side projects and it sounds completely different. But I feel like Serpent Speech isn't that much different from what you guys are doing. It's maybe a little bit more grindcore. But is that still ongoing?
It's been on hold for a second, but yeah, we jammed what?
Half a dozen times
in the last 6 months.
No, the last year. So with that, we were playing really hard with that. But once again, the other guy that we play with, Will, one of our really good friends, he has a lot of bands going too. He's a really busy guy, and that's awesome. He does a whole bunch of stuff, and we jam with him sporadically. We talk about doing it. We mean to do it. It just doesn't happen as much. But it will eventually. We're going to record in this practice space. We have yet to do that, but I mean, it's right there at our fingertips, so we're going to do that. I think that stuff does, about the sounding of it, I think it definitely sounds different. I mean, maybe just because we're in the band, but it's a different, definitely different gears. We have Will playing guitar, not me. Lately, I've been playing bass with it, but I do bass and vocals. Before I just did vocals. So he handles all the writing of the guitar stuff, and I just come up with the vocals and ideas here and there. And but yeah, it's a really fun band, but it's just, I don't know, nothing we've been
It's different. I don't know. It's I feel totally different in a world playing that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice switch up. And these guys right here, Drew right here, he can talk about in a second. Him and Eli have a number of other bands too. And Eli even has more bands. It's almost like we're collectors of bands or something like
It's
that.
a family tree. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Eli and I are in 2 different bands. Yeah, 2. Minka and Hung from the Rising Sun.
Okay. Yeah, we always put the links to all the stuff we talk about in the description. I think part of the fun of me for doing the show is like getting to check out all this different stuff and having people turn me on to like weird shit that I wouldn't have otherwise heard about. So plug away. I mean, let me know, and I'll stick all this stuff in the description, and people who are watching the video can go and check out some different stuff that sounds interesting to them.
Here's the guy to do that too. Eli, want to link all the other bands you're in that's not Mutilatred?
Minka, which is Drew and I and 2 of our other friends. It's more like
It's like, okay, so Minka's like just very experimental, like death metal. It's like
It sounds-
very heavy, very fast, can be very slow.
It kind of reminds me of stuff from the early 2000s. Pretty the
Like-
best way ever. Oh yeah, if that makes any sense. Like Ed Gein, but different. But like that decade of music.
Hell
If you wanna see that.
There's
Hung from the Rising
Hung from
Sun.
the Rising Sun, and then Wax also.
And then also Outside.
Yeah, I'm also
Outside.
in another band called Outside as well.
Yeah. Another really good band that's I'll describe it for you. I guess a big switch up from what we usually do. It's totally not metal. It's heavy though, but it's not metal. I mean, think of that. It's like my favorite way to describe it. He can describe it better though. Is a heavier version and a more serious version of Weezer. That's what I can describe it.
Okay.
It's just like heavy rock, I guess.
heavy rock.
If
There you go.
you want
There
to
you
put
go.
it that way, just heavier
Alright.
rock.
Cool.
I love it. I
If
love
you
Outside.
like Quicksand and Deftones. And
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yada,
Like,
yada, yada.
Sure. Quicksand.
Quicksand and Deftones is more my speed.
Hell yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
those-
We
Like hum,
Sure.
shit like that.
we play shows with his other band Outside a good amount, and I love it. I love when we play shows. And sometimes people will say like, you'll be like, hey, let's play a show together. So some other band, like, we can't play together. You guys are metal. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
We can. We can play anything together.
Yeah.
It's fun,
Love playing mixed bill shows.
Yeah,
That's awesome about playing
very-
Mutilatred because everyone will always come.
Yeah.
Everyone loves to go out to shows.
Yeah, we're lucky here. We have a pretty good
It's not a insanely big city, but it's big enough to have a good show.
Yeah, it's like a small city that like everyone's down to like support each other,
That's
Yeah.
good.
You'll see a good handful of the same people at like any type of show.
Yep.
Just
That's
going
the
out,
same
like
anywhere, though.
hanging out.
I'm
What'd you
just
say,
gonna
Clark?
like you even in big cities, you see that too. Like,
Yeah.
I saw a show on Saturday and Sunday. That's like half the same crowd, and it doesn't
Yeah.
even matter whether it was a hardcore show one day and a metal show the other day. It's the same.
Yep.
We're stuck in this mentality of a lot of people around here being in the Midwest and being in a small city is everyone thinks the grass is greener on the other side and has that mentality and thinks they want to get out and be somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? They think it's better. Now, what I noticed after touring and stuff like that is we're actually really lucky to have the scene that we do here in our hometown, and it's pretty decent. I mean, I'll go to some other places.
Yeah.
Big. I can't think of any like bigger cities. We think it'd be better, like Phoenix, and it's not. And you're like, what the hell, dude? There's like 1 million people here versus our like fraction of that, you know. But somehow we have better shows. So then I'll go to somewhere else like New York City where it's hit or miss. Where we've had some horrible shows there and some great shows there. But when we have the great shows there, they remind me of back at home in Toledo, which is nuts. You wouldn't think that until you're there seeing. I wish I could just tell everyone here that's bitching, like, yo, check it out. Like, check out these, what it's like in other places, and then you'll be more appreciative of what you have.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess switching gears again. Your lyrical content. You mentioned at somewhere else that there's like a lot of anti-drug references in your music.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I'll try to sum that up fast too. go on and on.
We'll preface it with, we definitely smoke weed and drink beers.
Yeah, we're not strange or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But we've had a lot of people in our lives and in my life that have lost their lives. A lot of people from hard drugs, and a lot of people that have just messed up their lives from hard drugs, and some people that bounce back, but most that haven't. And it, I've been seeing it for literally my whole life. And well, okay, when I was thinking of the topic of what to write lyrics for, I thought of how much this bothered me. And I said, you know what? Well, I don't know why I never thought of this, but I should write about this because this bothers me so much that I could just talk about it forever. And yeah, I just, I don't know, makes me feel a certain way and have a whole bunch of ideas for it because it just really pisses me off. And that's it. That's the whole bottom line. If I had to sum up an hour of talking into that much time. Yeah,
It's perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
Sure.
but weed is not on the list of weeds. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, as long as it's not
weed is
fucking your
tight.
life up, sure.
Yeah, as long as you're not being a little bum.
There's a big difference of things that you smoke for a good time and things that you shoot into your body that could make it, you know, be your last day living, you know. It's just a big difference. And I've seen it so much and so firsthand that I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know. So that I just write some metal about it. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of doing for it. And I don't know if it really helps at all. But actually, I do know it helps because I've talked to some people in random towns that I don't know at all that said, hey, I read your lyrics. Oh my gosh, this is sick. Like I have so-and-so that's doing the same thing and it pisses me off. Or they'll say, I've been in the same spot and I've almost, you know, lost my life and now I'm back and I'm at metal shows and having a good time. So thanks for doing that. And that just is like
Makes you
a different feeling, you know.
Yeah, that was literally badass.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we had a bad show on. I mean, we played good, but there was a bad part of it. Someone thought that Pat was like
Endorsing
drugs
Yeah, I
and
was like,
came up and
what the
started
fuck?
screaming at him.
This
Like, after
person-
we got done playing.
This person was wasted and out of their mind. So, and actually, I was just like, hey, you misunderstood it, and they're going on. I was like, you know what?
They
I'm
thought
fine.
we were,
Just
like,
do your thing.
promoting
I'm gonna
it.
keep loading my gear. You know,
As we're loading our shit.
that was the 1% that thought that.
Sure.
But with that type of topic, you can make some evil riffs and lyrics out of. So that's what we do.
Sure.
So when's the new album coming out? Is there a date for that?
Oh,
Don't know
well,
the date.
we can tell you what
Thereabouts.
I'm gonna assume like hopefully the end of the year, if
Or the
not like
fall.
spring next year. I think.
Oh, geez.
That'd be crazy. That's like so far, I think, at least like hopefully we were talking about October before, and that was all because of vinyl, but vinyl's going to take even longer. So basically, as soon as we get the stuff together and the artwork together, it's going to be very soon. We're going to throw it all together online, digitally, and get some printing of the easy stuff, tapes and CDs, and then probably release it as quick as we can. Hopefully, I would say fall, but maybe winter.
Hopefully.
Like I said, it takes us a long
Hopefully
time
fall.
to release stuff, which is not our plan ever, but
It is what it is.
yeah, it's what
Sure.
it is.
You did the artwork for this one too?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Yeah, it's I can explain it. It's a version of death grabbing a guy like this, like choking someone almost. And I'm just it's
The
a
Heimlich maneuver.
it's from an old it's from a Baroque painting because it's later than Renaissance, and I'm gonna repaint it and make it my own version and make it more gory and nasty. And actually, I was gonna tell him right now, you should work on parts of it with me while we're here. So,
What are you guys doing right now?
yeah.
I guess.
And anything else you guys want to plug or before we wrap it up?
I mean, honestly, not really. Hopefully, to have a new album out very soon, within the end of this year or beginning of next year. Hopefully touring, as Patrick said while he's peeing over there.
Peeing in the corner.
Yeah, he's peeing in the
Yeah.
corner.
Not in
Yeah.
the corner.
He's being all sorry on the corner.
Outside of
He's
the
being
corner,
on-
not in it, out of it. I don't know.
Okay.
Thank you for wanting
Yeah.
to do an interview with us. I'm sure it was interesting.
Sorry, fellas.
No,
Ah, that's cool.
it's good. It's good. No, we do this because we like to hang out and talk shit and talk about metal, and anytime
Yeah,
I can
hell
do it,
yeah.
it's a good time. And I fucking love your stuff too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Ingested is a fucking awesome EP. And Dissecting is fucking brutal and filthy and disgusting in all the ways that I love it. And
Wait till you hear the new stuff.
yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I just love that type of just filthy. I don't know how to describe, fucking metal heavy shit. Anyway, really appreciate you guys coming on, and if you made it down this far in the interview, then you should get some type of reward. So,
What is it?
no, get a
What's the
no.
reward?
Okay, but
It was like, all right.
I don't have anything for you. I'm sorry. So
I got the ass.
either.
you get a free copy of Eric's next album when it comes out.
What? No, don't say that.
Dude, he already said it. We get one.
No.
I want 5.
That won't work. You could send some free coupons of something.
Yeah, you get $1. Okay. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for joining us. See you on the next show.
See ya. Thank
See you
you.
later.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.